Hello again everyone, it's Deepa once again from New Zealand, just giving you yet another update on the model railway in the garden on the fence. For those of you who haven't seen the last two videos, this is my improvised layout, which is in fact on the bottom rung of my garden fence. Now what I've done today is I've found my Bachmann warship loco, which is heavy and very powerful. And I found 20 coaches to put into a quite substantial looking train. I started off with the blue Mark 1s and then found some red Mark 1s, and then I found one more blue Mark 1. So that's going to be the train of the day, and we're going to find out if this will actually go without problems on this layout. The loco is extremely powerful, so it should be able to pull this without too much trouble. And we're off. So I would rather nervously follow this and see what happens. Just coming up to where the loco is now, just here, in what I call the forest section. I have made some modifications to the track to make it a bit more level. Well, something's happened already, which is, oh, here we go. This coach appears to have made contact with this part of the fence. So just going to switch off the transformer and make a little adjustment. So it appears that what had happened there was that even though I had nailed down quite a bit of the track, there was a section there which, possibly because of the heat from the sun, may have actually had a bit of movement with expansion of the rails. And I've just moved that section of track towards the outer edge, and hopefully that will solve the problem. So I'm going to now go back to the transformer, which is unfortunately down this end, and restart the train, which I can't see particularly well. I can see the end coaches there. I'm just going to see if it's starting to move, which it is. I can see it moving now. I'll try and catch up to it quickly. You can hear at least one coach having derailed slightly. Here it is. I'll just stop the whole train and see if I can just correct that. Okay, that's better. And the loco is now coming to the end of the line, as it were. And there are all the coaches. I'm going to have to remove this from the track at this point. Because I haven't put an isolating section in there. But as you can see, all the coaches appear to have done pretty well. They are all still connected. So what I've done now is to put the loco at this end, turned on the power to the transformer, but taken the loco's wheels off the track. So I'm just going to reposition the wheels on track. By the way, I pulled the coaches just manually before. It's a pretty heavy train, so this loco is doing very well to be able to pull that. That's on track. It's had a little bit of wheel spin, but now moving away quite nicely. I think some of these older Triang coaches, as one of the correspondents in the comments section of the previous video mentioned, that bogies and wheels and so on sometimes can be a problem. Now the loco is now experiencing some wheel spin, and that is because this coach has just derailed, I think. So I'll try and reposition that on track, give it a bit of a push. I think this section must be a bit on the uphill side, because that loco is now having some wheel spin, which it wasn't on the way down. Just giving it a bit of assistance to see if we can get it moving. And off it goes. Here come the coaches. certainly a bit of hesitancy on the part of the loco until this last batch of coaches have come past this section, and I didn't realise it was uphill a little bit, but it appears that that is the case. The last few coaches just coming through now. Curious to know what's happening at the other end. I don't hear any clattering of wheels having come off the track or anything. That's the last coach there. I think the loco is having trouble with traction, so I'm just going to see what that's about. It's certainly spinning its wheels. Might apply a bit of power to it and see if that can be at least obviated a little. Yes, there is wheel spin, but here it comes. Heading down to the end of the track here. One of the coaches at least has come off the track in the meantime. Oh dear. Well, yet another crash for me to mention in a video. So I think one coach derailed, bringing quite a number of them down as well. So this appears to be something that I'm going to have to look at. One of the couple of the coaches, I think, have had their outer shells come off from the chassis. Someone's coupling has come off, but the loco didn't fall over, and that's the main thing, because that's obviously a bit more fragile than these trying coaches, which are quite robust. So that appears to be, I'm not sure, I guess a semi-successful adventure, and I think I'll definitely take the advice of people who've commented in relation to the bogies of these older coaches, and just see if I can't make a few adjustments there. I certainly thought I had the track fairly well set up so that it wasn't too uneven, and that you can see some sections here where I've actually done a few little prop-ups of the track to make it a bit more even, and that I think isn't a massive issue. I think the other problem is being uphill meant that the loco had to spin its wheels, and therefore most likely might have vibrated some of the coaches as well. But I'll have a look at this in slow motion and make a comment later if I can find out what's happened. So once again, thank you very much for watching one of my videos, and please do make any comments that you see are appropriate, and I shall come back to you very shortly with another video. Thanks very much again for watching, everyone.